The five-step model of critical thinking. Let's look at each of these steps in turn. The first step for the critical thinker, the reflective practitioner, is to think about the goals and objectives of critical thinking, and trying to also consider the particular behaviours and the skills which are being used in a particular incident, and then to focus attention on those goals, objectives, behaviours and skills. The second step is to look for answers in order to consider the situation from as many different viewpoints as possible. And looking for answers means asking questions. And the important thing for the critical thinker is to produce the right sort of questions. You only get good answers from good questions. So it's important to develop appropriate questions, and it can be very useful for the critical thinker to begin engaging in discussion with colleagues around these questions. Step 3 is to practice before you start any process of thinking through or assessing a situation. Choose what sort of activities you may want to use or which may actually promote active learning, and start to think how you might utilize different components of active learning within the classroom setting. Step 4 is to reflect back on any sort of actions, on questioning and on thinking, and to begin to review and then to refine and improve your thinking based on that review. So it's very much about monitoring your activities in the classroom and thinking through why you are doing things in particular ways, collecting information, collecting feedback from others. It could be collecting feedback from students. And then step 5, this is using the feedback in order to assess the quality of learning in a particular situation. Reviewing feedback will help the critical thinker really think about the whole process from beginning to end, the questions that were asked and the process of action. And the important thing is that this feedback is used to improve future action. It's important that the teacher, the critical thinker, realizes at this point that the instructional methods which they're using in the classroom are always driven by their own beliefs and values about how people learn. And it's through implementing a critical thinking process that the teacher, the critical thinker, the reflective practitioner can begin to address these particular beliefs and values and start to think about active learning in the classroom as a process that they can take control of and facilitate. And we can look at this 5-step model from a diagrammatic point of view, and here we can see the 5 steps clearly one after the other. Step 1, determining the learning objectives, clarifying the behaviours and the skills that the critical thinker brings to the classroom. Step 3, going through the questioning process in order to get good answers to those questions. Step 3, practicing before any assessment process, any sort of action process. And then into step 4, which is reviewing and refining and improving the processes in the classroom, leading to step 5, gathering data, gathering information, and providing and being provided feedback, which then leads into a new cycle of critical thinking, step 1.